more can I say?
Top Billin. Not by any stretch am I trying to absolve Jamal Adams from poor play. However, why is he the guy matched up on an inside receiver like this? A guy who is absolutely quick in and out of his breaks. A cat that is just flat out a better athlete than Jamal Adams, who's being played at depth. Also, we'll let this run here. Is this really on Jamal Adams? Check this out right here. There's no pass rush. I can't even play that all the way through. I'm about to get a damn copyright content ID claim right here because I played too much of it because they weren't getting to the quarterback in time. That's a long time to cover somebody. And originally, it looked like he was good. Right here, if they were coming out, right, 2 seconds, that's about how much time your boy Geno Smith gets per play. But I digress from that. 5 seconds is crazy. Right, look at this. He's on him. He's good. Actually, the person who failed right here was your boy Reek Woolen. Right here, check this out coming out. Dak Prescott just not seeing the entire field, but he had a touchdown right away. Check this out. Reek Woolen, I'm not sure what happened right here, but down goes Woolen, and your man is wide open right here. Dak Prescott actually looking towards it. Could have definitely hit him in the corner there, but Jamal Adams all over his dude. It's just the fact that it's a long time to cover right there. And he throws it, bang. In Jamal Adams' defense, though, he did splock a tie out him, and he got the pin, right? So he pinned him, and he won the world title of that particular play right there. But in all honesty, that is a long time to cover. You can't really fault Jamal Adams for that. In a play like that, if you go back and look at the personnel grouping, why not run what you brung? You have more guys on the bench. Right, if you feel like you're going to be in one of these attainable situations where they're going to pass, why not have Coby Bryant right here? He's going to be a better cover guy than Jamal Adams because had this come out right, Jamal Adams seems like he was fine there, but if you want somebody to stay with a wide receiver on the inside there, Coby Bryant playing Jamal Adams' position would be that. And in general, maybe you bring Jamal Adams out for some plays anyway and allow Coby Bryant to play. I just feel like this guy should be playing. I don't see how you can cause that many turnovers as a rookie and it not be thought that you could possibly improve on some of the things that you didn't do well last year and work on the things that you do well, right, that you did do well and improve on those as well, man. Make yourself a really good player there. It's just kind of weird to me to have that guy on the bench. If you know man coverage is not your man's game, why put him out there when you have other options? Julian Love and Coby Bryant are better options in man coverage than Jamal Adams. Anyone can see that. But what you have here is the Dallas Cowboys getting smart. They forced them into base personnel by bringing out 12 personnel, right? There's 2 tight ends in the game right here. You have one in the slot, and then, of course, you have one right here. So that's going to force somebody to be in man coverage on the back end. You know, in this one right here, they isolate the strong safety, Jamal Adams, right here with an out and up, and it was not good at all. Poor coverage by Jamal Adams right here. You can just tell he's out of his depth. Look at him really bite real hard on that, stay over the top, and then I'm not even sure what he was doing out there. We're going to have to zoom in on this one right here, go solo with it. But look, he's out-leveraged. He out-leveraged himself on an out route. He was originally on the inside. Someone like Coby Bryant or someone like Julian Love, 2 guys with cornerback in their background, probably will be able to recognize this and know that they need to stay on the inside and force the ball to go outside. The easiest catch is always going to be to the inside right there. Matter of fact, let's zoom in on this. All right, here we see Jake Ferguson, and he runs this out and up pretty generically right there, right? You should be able to stay on top of this. Right now we see my man Jamal Adams already struggling on the transition phase. He's looking very top heavy. He's turning to locate, but scared to look. He's like half of his one eye is on Ferguson and one eye is on the quarterback right there. He's like a rabbit or something. We got both eyes on the side of his head there. And man, I'm not sure. You can see right now he's actually in very good position, but then he continues to drift away. Drifting and settling. And my man just beats him back to the inside. Oh, what was this? Oh, he looks a little feisty with it too. What was going on right here? Oh, feisty. feisty. Come on. What was he doing with his arms? He thought he was going to catch the ball. The ball's on the inside. He's beat right here. Now he's just locating the ball after the fact. Oh, feisty. Zesty and feisty. Oh, man. Yeah, that's a bad rep by Jamal Adams, but that's on a lot more people than Jamal Adams, because we know that's not his game. That's not Jamal Adams' game. He needs to be left to his own devices to just make plays happen at or around the line of scrimmage. Maybe a little shallow zone duty there. They're actually doing a pretty good job this year of keeping him out of man coverage in some of those sub packages where he's just pretty much guarding blades of grass. But getting him in man coverage in these type of situations against inside receivers and tight ends, and having to cover man coverage with routes with transitions on him, yeah, that's bad. That's bad. And your head coach is Pete Carroll for Pete's sake, right? For Pete's sake, your head coach is Pete Carroll. He should be able to figure that out right there. The man's forgotten more defensive football than all of us will ever know combined. And they still find themselves with these type of personnel conundrums. Julian Love, Coby Bryant. No ifs, ands, or buts about that, right? If I was running that particular program right there, that defensive program, that would be my base. I would bring Jamal Adams in on sub packages, to be honest with you. That way you can ensure that he's probably just going to be able to guard blades of grass there and try to keep him out of man coverage. I probably would just start Julian Love and bring in Coby Bryant. I would have to mix and match personnel. Why not? Why not? Defense is struggling. You have these talented guys there. They are better than Jamal Adams at this specific role, right? Neither one of them are as good as Jamal Adams, I think, at just making plays. But you can use Jamal Adams in those special situations there, right? So I can't imagine Jamal Adams moving forward with the Seattle Seahawks there. I don't know how the contract situation works out there, but him and Quandre Diggs not having good years at all, in my opinion, there. And I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong. Huge Quandre Diggs fan. He's not playing that well in this split safety role. He's more of a post safety to me, make some shit happen on the back end like he did in that game last year against the Rams with that interception. Those type of plays that he makes right there. Having him in split safety and having him come up and work the alley and tackle, he's struggling in that. And we know what Jamal Adams does, and same deal with him and with the tackling too, man. He's taking a lot of poor angles. Yeah. But the answer's already on the test. Coby Bryant, Julian Love already on the team, and then you got the young kid too, whenever he comes off IR, just for him for next year, who's showing some flashes on special teams. All right, real quick, I'm surprised the people didn't bring me this story right here about Jamal Adams going on with the cat Connor Hughes, right? Connor Hughes, a name that I recognize, right, from following the Jets. A Jets reporter talking about yikes on that play when he gave up the touchdown, when he was looking very feisty and zesty. Right. But listen, why is Connor Hughes talking about Jamal Adams when I'm pretty sure people know that they have beef prior, right? So this stems back before. To me, Connor Hughes is just piling on and just asking for it. Now, would I do like Jamal Adams and say yikes, pull up a picture of his wife or whatever like that? No, that's going too far, right? I'm a man of principle, right? I'll roast the shit out of you online, but I'm going to be talking about you. Unless you want to take it to somewhere else, right? You want to take it somewhere else with it. It should be about you. Off limits are women and children, right? So you have to do some really goofy shit, right, for most people to go after your wife and children. But Jamal Adams is here saying like, hey, we already had beef. This guy wants to continue on talking about me, making his presence known around me, talking about some yikes and all this and that. I'm just going to go in on him right there. So he went for the jugular. Not saying I would have done it, but, man, if you got that type of personal beef, you know a cat like that probably wouldn't say anything to your actual face. Hey, sometimes, man, you just probably got to do what you got to do there. I know that wasn't going to be taken there. You had Mike Freeman here, cat that I used to work with at Bleacher Report. He says, not sure what's worse, the disgraceful behavior of Jamal Adams going after someone's wife or people defending him. Hey, man, sometimes all is fair in love and war, but that's straight up war right there. So your man's just going for the jugular. Brian Costello, another name that I recognize from following the Jets. Why is he chiming in? Him and Connor Hughes are probably cool and shit like that, but when you say shit like this, I've covered a lot of players throughout the years, never met anyone who was more phony than Jamal Adams. I always thought he was a bad guy. Today he proved he's even worse than I thought. Yeah, you say this now because he's in Seattle. Right? These guys like this are softer than toddlers' asses, bro. Like, they wouldn't say something like this to Jamal Adams' face, right? You're talking about football players. You cover the game of football. These guys actually play football. You're calling this guy phony, talking about he's a bad guy and worse than all this and that. You gotta put things in perspective. You're just covering the sport. You're covering a sport you probably never even played. Jamal Adams would beat the brakes off you. You know what I'm saying? I'm overtly annoyed with a lot of my fellow media people, right? I think it's gotten to the point with social media now, some of these guys are thinking that they're more than what they are, right? You know what I'm saying, right? If you didn't have people there, right? If there wasn't police there, if there wasn't people there to be like, oh, why are you beating up Brian Costello, Jamal Adams? Why you beat him up at the park, right? These guys would be quiet. They would be quiet. They're not built like that. You got this kid right here. I don't know. This is probably just a fan or somebody like that. Jamal Adams will tell you he's a leader while criticizing his own team and forcing his way out of any adversity, and will act tough and then randomly insult your wife to get back at you for criticizing his play on the field. Can't believe I ever rooted for such a clown. Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? A lot to unpack right there, right? You can be a leader while criticizing your own team. Sometimes that's what leadership is about, right? If you don't see something going on with your own team, you're not afraid to say it, you're the one that can invoke change. As far as acting tough, and I hate when people say that, right? If you think someone's acting tough, call their bluff. Right? Those are fighting words where I'm from. You can't be walking around out here talking about, oh, you acting tough. Like, if I'm an actor, you know what I'm saying? Let's play the role. You know what I'm saying? This guy would not do that. Jamal Adams would beat his ass. That's what I'm saying. These people are lost in the sauce. You're still talking about guys who play a gladiator sport. You're talking about some of the best athletes in the world. You're talking about guys that I'm pretty sure this cat right here was probably petrified of, like, in school or something like that, right? So think about it like that, man. So I don't know. But listen, Jamal Adams was doubling down on it. Seahawks Jamal Adams stands by intent and spat with reporters. Look, Jamal said, oh, it's always the athlete cross the line when he responds. But at the end of the day, disrespect is disrespect, however you want to take it. So I responded. I knew when I did hit that tweet, I wasn't in it to win it. At the end of the day, it was to get him to understand to leave me the hell alone. I completely agree with that notion, right? Probably better ways to go on about it, but usually if you feel like somebody is riding you, right, pause, you want to get them to stop any way you can, right? And usually, right, in real life, how would you get somebody to stop? I think we both know how that would go down if it was a face-to-face encounter. This is probably the best thing he could think of at the time, right? So Adams said that he and the reporter have previous history and they don't like each other. He's been going on saying a couple of things since the trade, and obviously it's been happening before that, and I just got fed up with it, Adams said. Whether it was uncalled for or not, my ultimate goal was to get him to not respond to me anymore. That was the key, and that's what I hope it is. Adams also fired back on X and in the locker room Wednesday at another New York reporter who had weighed in, calling Adams a bad person. So he's talking about Costello there. He's another one. Do not like. At the end of the day, hey, you responded to something that was not a part of y'all's team, and you obviously had something personal versus me. So, hey, when others go low, I went lower. Coach Carroll chimed in. I don't know if it was a great decision at the time. I'm not sure about the details of it, but I know that he realized that he needed to take it down what he had put up. We don't want to be a part of that. He said it was a great conversation I guess he had with Jamal Adams there. It's been personal with him and I ever since I've been with the Jets. Adams said, I just got fed up with it, bro. It was just the end of it, and I knew this was the only thing right here that I was going to tweet was going to hurt him. Anything else I would have said wouldn't have hurt him, but he got my point, and he knows not to continue to mess with me. I hate that I had to bring her into the situation, but at the end of the day, he loves at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, the ultimate goal was to get at him. Gotta let me know what you think about that, right? Knowing your particular fan base, I don't think you guys are gonna like that a lot. Out here in Jersey, where he's talking to guys who probably live in Jersey, I absolutely loved it. Don't like bringing in the woman in this, right? No women and kids. I would have liked for him to have probably tried to make fun of their appearance or something like that. That, like he said, though, that probably wasn't going to stop him. You go after someone's wife right there, now you bring her to the forefront, she's probably going to have a talk with you like, hey, man, you won't leave him alone. You know what I'm saying? Leave him alone. He's not the one right there, right? Because, of course, he wouldn't let Jamal Adams and him off the radar. Be like, hey, all right, cool. You want to continue to mess with me, man? Listen, I'm gonna be in Jersey this summer. You know what I'm saying? You meet me out here by this park, this desolate park, and we can settle it like men. And they wouldn't go for that. They'd rather just sit up there and have courage, right? There'd be some email mafia members, right? Twitter mafia members. But let me know what you think. Regardless of that, that is pretty wild there. Big salutes out to the president, Jamal Adams. Still a very talented player there. I don't see it lasting with Seattle that much longer. A great deal of you guys, or at least the guys who I'm talking about that don't like Jamal Adams, I think you guys love something like this because I think it greases the skids for him to be out of Seattle and somewhere else. Funny thing about it, yeah, we'll save that for another day there. Right? He's still got some good football left in him. If somebody would just play him the way they play him, I could see him having a huge impact on several teams that are high-level teams and him continuing to do his thing there. All right, but it's your boy Jersey Murph as always, man. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everybody for tapping in. Big salute to everybody out there, man, who tips their waiter because you know I be serving that hibachi. Adios.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.